Hi guys, so as you would have seen from that little cinematic trailer and the thumbnail and, well, the box I'm currently holding, yep, I do have the HeroQuest Against the Ogre Horde, well, quest pack. And to say I'm excited would be a little bit of an understatement. So I live in the UK, and yes, I have got this possibly earlier than some people may have, but that's because I was that mad that I bought this from the Amazon, but the USA Amazon, or Amazon.com. Cost about £20 to get shipped to the UK, but only took about, I think about 4 days, which was pretty cool. And that kind of shows just how nuts I am for this game, because yeah, I couldn't wait. But look at these guys. He is absolutely huge compared to, well, the heroes. This dude is massive, but absolutely glorious looking, and well, I can't wait to get cracking on and paint this chap. But as always with these HeroQuest miniatures, yeah, that base, it's got to come off. So as much as I love the miniature, yeah, bases, even on these ones, I still want them to be on nice, clear sort of bases. So yeah, got a little cheap, well, I don't know what this tool's called. It's like a Dremel cutting tool or something similar. So you can use this to cut away the base. Like I've done with all of the others, it is a case of going nice and slowly. Even though I am now speeding up the footage, because I say this does take a while, because, well, you don't want to chop a foot off, a toe off, or even a whole leg off. But yeah, it is just a case of going round, cutting nearer and nearer to those, well, those lovely little toes that he's got on show here. But for me, the time spent doing this is well worth it. As I say, I don't really like bases. Unless they want a miniature that's just going to sit on my desk and look cool, then yeah, I'll happily spend hours doing a nice base. But for miniatures that I use in game, yeah, I prefer to see, well, whatever terrain is meant to be underneath them, because whenever I play games, I do make boards up, and well, I go nuts and 3D print all kinds of stuff, or make stuff out of, well, whatever I've got to hand. So yeah, for me, spending about 10-15 minutes, so it wasn't too long, but yeah, definitely worth me spending that time cutting nicely around the feet, and then yeah, with the toes, again, using this Dremel tool, taking it nice and slow, I can just get nearer and nearer those toes without obviously chopping them off. And I can also use this to sort of get in between the toes, which is really cool, because I want to see them toes, well, stick out kind of on their own. Let me know in the comments, guys, if any of you are crazy mad enough to do this as well with your miniatures, or if you leave them as is, or maybe even sort of make them or decorate them to look like sort of like the stone flooring that they're probably going to be on. So yeah, the tool gets nice and close, and then just to finish it off, good old bit of sandpaper. As you can see, this sandpaper has been used thoroughly, even though this is meant to be going on one of those like orbital sanders. Yeah, I just got a pack of this stuff because it's, well, it was cheap. And yeah, I do like to be frugal when it comes to money, even though that being said, I did spend nearly 70 quid on getting this box sent to me from America, just because, well, I'm an impatient so-and-so. And yeah, he's nearly done now, so now I've got some finer sandpaper just to try and get the sort of the furry edges off. Again, it's worth spending time here just to make this look as neat and tidy as possible, because obviously once you start painting stuff, well, that's when you can really sort of see any mistakes you may have made. So yeah, I really am giving him a nice little pedicure here, just to just to make his toes look as good as they can. And then about 15 minutes later, after doing all that, yeah, he's ready to paint. So as you can see, I've got my 3D printed bases, and I've stuck little rods in his feet. Just makes it easier then to sort of like get up and underneath him, get everything painted really well. So this is one of the largest sort of size miniature holders I've got. But the great thing obviously with 3D printers, well, you print it whatever size you want. So starting off, good old matte black, and I'm using the one by TheColourForge. There's a link down below, guys. They don't sponsor the video in any way, but yeah, this is one of the best blacks I've ever used, and it's why, well, it's the only one I've used for the last 7-8 months. And there we go, he's primed in black, and yeah, absolutely love it. So he's all ready for a bit of dry brushing. And I do love the dry brushing stage as well. It kind of brings out all that lovely definition in this chap. So I'm using my textured Drybrush palette with my good old face on it. I'm using Green Stuff World paints this time, giving them a little bit of a go. And yeah, good old Drybrush here by Artify. So yeah, get a bit of white, stick it on your Drybrush palette. And again, this is obviously the bit I kind of hate doing, but love doing. I don't like wasting stuff. But obviously you do kind of waste quite a bit of paint here, because you want to fill the brush and then get rid of most of it. So as the name sort of like implies, yeah, it's a dry brush. And then just going all over him. Wherever possible, I do try and do circle or circular motion, as this normally gets a nicer sort of dry brush look. It's less chalky, it's less sort of, well, dragged marks, but sometimes you can't do sort of circular motions, but you just have to do whatever you can really, just making sure obviously you go all over the figure. So quite often I am asked about how much white to use, as in, do you cover it lots, do you cover it less? This is really personal, guys. It's up to you how you want to do it. Yeah, you put as much or as little as you want on, and then when you come to paint it and see how it looks at the end, then you can decide whether or not you well, you need to do more whites on it or less whites on it. But one thing I will say whenever I sort of do it is I generally go over it once, as obviously I'm doing here, then I'll leave it and let it stand for a good sort of 10-15 minutes, so that obviously it is all nice and dry, and then typically I'll go over it again. But this time not going over it as much, literally just going over, and this time it really is going to catch the raised areas, so you almost get a variation in the whites. You get the first lot of white that kind of goes on, it dries, and then this second lot of white is obviously whiter, because you now got white going over the top of white, but this time I say this is less sort of rubbing it in, just really going over and yeah, capturing all the highlighted edges. As with all the HeroQuest miniatures, I'm trying to paint them as much as I can to the same sort of colour scheme as the cards. Two reasons for this really. One, well, I like the idea of them looking like the cards, and two, well, it saves me having to think what colours to use. So yeah, it's a lot easier for me to do it this way. So as you can see, yeah, I'm using the Green Stuff World Dipping Inks. These were sent to me about 4 or 5 months ago. I used them once, and I thought they were okay, but I didn't really give them much of a chance. So I thought I'll have a go at using these in this video, just to see how they fare. And I must admit, I've fallen in love with them. I think one of the things that put me off when I first used them, as you can possibly see here, they are very translucent. Again, I never know what the correct word is, so I'm going to use the word that I love using. They are watery, or watery-er. So as you can see, yeah, this goes on. This has been given a good old shake, by the way, guys. I've shaken this till, well, my hand was going to fall off. But as you see, when it goes on, it is very translucent. And when I first did this, I didn't like it. As in, when I used these paints, well, whenever I first got them 4 months or more ago, yeah, I didn't like it. But when I was painting this figure, I must admit, I absolutely love painting this figure. And of all the figures I've painted over the last year or two, this has got to be one of my favourite figures that I enjoyed more than any other. In part, it's obviously because he is a good looking, gorgeous figure, but it's also the paints. I like the idea now that these are very thin, very watery, very translucent, because you have a lot of control then over how rich or deep you want the paint to look. So with most of them I did over this guy, I painted them once, let them dry. So say this skin colour, yeah, not too bad at all. I wanted it to be a little bit richer, so I went over and gave it a second coat. And again, I think this is why I love this Green Stuff World Dipping Inks, purely because you simply have a lot more control over it. Basically, it's like when people will thin their paints down. So you get those who thin paints down and those who don't. And yeah, I just think this is like that. So you have a lot more control over, say, how deep you want the colours or how rich you want the colours to look. And yeah, absolutely love it. So I'll leave some links down below to Green Stuff World. Again, they're not sponsoring this video. In fact, this video isn't sponsored by anyone. This video is purely me, obviously painting stuff, having fun. But again, I'll always leave links down below to everything I use. Some of the links are affiliate links, which means it doesn't cost you any more, but if you do buy stuff, then I get sort of a few pennies back. Although, I must admit, I think everything I'm sort of saying at the moment, none of that is affiliate links. It is just, well, links to the stuff that I use. But again, anytime I am sponsored or I have affiliate links, you're always going to get my unbiased opinion, because if I like something, I'll say I like it. If I don't like it, I won't say anything negative about anything. You'll just hear me not making any comments. Because yeah, I'm not a negative person in any way. But say, yeah, these paints, That's obviously the big difference between the Green Stuff World Dipping Inks and the Army Painter Speed Paints is these are, say, much more waterier, translucent. And then a big difference is the Army Painter range. There's, well, a much larger range. So these dipping inks, I think I've got 48, which isn't too bad. Say there's enough variation in the colours to get the job done. But yeah, the Army Painter one does win out on just having, well, lots more paints. But say, I really enjoyed, I can't say enough, this figure. I absolutely love painting him. And I've already got the next figure from the against the Ogre Horde box set. I'm going to have a go at doing the Ogre Champion. So if you're into HeroQuest, guys, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, as I do produce a couple of videos every week. But you're going to want to see me do the Ogre Champion because, well, I don't like the pose he's currently in. So I am going to be doing a bit of chopping him up. And I'm going to move his arms and make him into a different pose. Plus, also with the miniature, his muscles don't look as big as they should. So I am going to make his arms, yeah, a bit beefier. So keep an eye out for that video, guys. Plus, I believe every time I say hit the subscribe button, your subscribe button should sort of have a little ring around it or flash or something. So subscribe button, subscribe button, subscribe button. Anyway, enough of that nonsense. Back to this, and say, yeah, absolutely love how he's looking. Love the colours. And I say, because these paints are more waterier, yeah, they definitely pool in the nooks and crevices and cracks and all the rest of it. Yeah, so much so more than the Army Painter ones. That being said, you do have to be careful though, because obviously this is more waterier. It does run, so yeah, you need to make sure you don't have too much on your brush, otherwise it may run and go, well, where it shouldn't go. So the other thing I'm going to try and do, guys, and that's to do a video every Saturday around this time, so around sort of 5 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. And it'll be a generally longer video than the ones I post during the week. So I know I'm always asking you guys, do you like the long videos or the short videos? And most of the time you're pretty much like, yeah, whatever video you bring out I like. But yeah, you do, it's just let me try and get my teeth back in. Yeah, you guys do seem to like the long videos as well. So maybe what I'll do is every Saturday around this time, I'll do one of the longer videos. And there's a good chance that the videos that come out every Saturday for the next, well, good few weeks are going to be the HeroQuest ones. Just because obviously I've got quite a few of these lovely ogres from this set that I want to paint. So yeah, maybe I'll do one of those a week. And then all the midweek videos will be the usual sort of like 8 to 15 minute long videos. But then yeah, Saturday can be the treat for us all, and it'll be a nice long video of me, well, just waffling on and on and on. But yeah, what I'll probably do as well, the longer videos, they are sort of more in depth, and you definitely get to see more of the painting process. And even though I do sort of speed up every single sort of little bit of video clip a little bit, just because I want you guys to sort of see more of what I do. And again, I don't like to do videos that are long just for the sake of doing them long. But yeah, these ones, they will obviously include everything that I'm doing, more waffle, and yeah, definitely obviously showing you all the paints that I use. So again, guys, yeah, if you've never tried them out before, I would highly recommend trying out Green Stuff World Dipping Inks. A couple of reasons really. One, say they go on wetter, so this is definitely more fun, and say I've loved painting this dude. And two, well, probably more importantly when it comes to me anyway, the price. These are so much cheaper than the Army Painter ones. But as you can see, yeah, they are looking absolutely perfect, do the job really well. And yeah, I'm loving how they look and the colours. Say, there's only 48 in the range at the moment. I'm sure they're probably going to bring out more later. But when I say only 48, that still means there's lots of different greens, lots of different blues. And the one thing you would have seen me use, well, probably in the last good couple of months, and that's in any video where I'm painting something that needs to be white. Yeah, the Army Painter white I've never got on with, as I've found it always comes out more grey, and I'm talking almost a dark grey. Whereas the Green Stuff World Dipping Inks, they've got a Skull Linen Dip, which does come out perfectly white, and just looks glorious. So yeah, you'd have seen me using that one in a lot of the recent videos. So yeah, that's kind of why I thought I'd have a go at using, well, the others in a video. And yeah, really pleased that I did as well. You'll be seeing me use these when I'm painting the other HeroQuest ogres, just because I think they've come out really well. And I've just taken a look at the next figure that I'm going to be painting, say the Ogre Champion. So as well as obviously cutting off his arms and moving them into a better position. Yeah, he looks a bit green, so I'm going to enjoy painting him in a bit of more of a Hulk style. So the one thing I don't have though is any sort of metallic paints. So as you can see, the gold chalice here and the other little bits of gold that he's got on him, yeah, I'm doing them in the yellow, which again I must admit is another one of those colours with the Army Painter range. I've never found a real nice strong yellow, whereas the dipping ink, yeah, it doesn't have many colours, but the ones it does, they are all, well, yeah, they're all good. Yeah, so who needs 200 odd colours when you can have 48 that are perfect, I guess. But again, guys, I'm not sponsored by Green Stuff Dipping Inks or any of that kind of stuff. I know I'm getting a bit excited over them, but that's just because, I say, I really enjoyed painting this dude so much, and yeah, absolutely love how everything's come out. So as you can see, yeah, the yellow, I don't think I did 2 coats of the yellow because that did seem to come out pretty strong. But yeah, guys, if you haven't tried them already, I would recommend, well, even just if you've just got a few of the bottles. I say these bottles are so much cheaper, not just than the Army Painter ones, but they're cheaper than like the Express Colour ones and the Citadel Contrast ones. Yeah, these are the cheapest ones I think out there, and well, I love how they look. So as you can see, obviously all the bottles I've shown here, one of the first things that I did was I primed the lid in black, dry brushed it white, and then painted it again just so it gives you a nice visualization of how these paints are going to look when they when they're on the miniature, really. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell if you want to see more of the videos that I do, and just because I wanted to make your little subscribe button, well, do a little glow. I don't know if it tinkles as well, I maybe think of something else, but yeah, it definitely glowed. So yeah, let's say this guy, he is big, he's beefy, he's chunky, and say the size comparison of this dude compared to the heroes, yeah, this guy is massive. So as you can see, obviously I have taken the base off. I've already got some clear bases for him to go on, but they're not circle ones. They are, is it Eclipse? Yeah, the good old circle that's been squished. So they are the perfect size for this guy, as in they're the same sort of size as, well, the base that was originally on him. And there we go, so he's not far off being done. So with the skulls, I almost thought about just leaving them as they were, but they did seem a little bit too white. So yeah, using the, well, appropriately named Skull Linen Dip, yeah, just going over them. As well as obviously his teeth, yeah, a bit of paint's gone over them from the skin colour. So I'm just going to try and bring them back to a little bit more, well, teethy looking. As well as obviously all the toenails, fingernails. Yeah, they need a little bit of the Skull Linen Dip put over the top of them. And again, yeah, the paints certainly cover well, considering obviously I'm putting a white over, well, a little bit of a dark colour. Obviously the skin flesh tone there isn't that dark. But again, please how that's come out. Again, I'm not trying to diss Army Painter in any way, because obviously all paints are different and we all have, well, different likes and whatever. But I do like the skin tone on the dipping inks. Yeah, because quite often with the Army Painter one, I do have to go over with another sort of paint, just to sort of bring or lighten them up. So yeah, loving how the skin tone has come out for this lovely ogre. So there's only a little bit I want to do with sort of normal paints here. Again, I do have a few of the Green Stuff World normal paints, although the name of their range seems a little bit confusing as it's opaque colours, and I always thought opaque meant sort of clear, see-through. This sort of range of paints is their like strong tone paints, that will obviously full coverage where, yeah, possibly would need to water them down. Not that I have in this case, as I was only going to use them to go round over these little, well, little rivety things. And there we go. Absolutely love how he's come out. The colours I think just look amazing. And yeah, I am so in love with this chap. And I love the fact that I've taken the base off so you can see his lovely feet. And yeah, I think I've done a fairly good job of taking the base off and getting in between his toes. So yeah, these are the clear bases. Again, these are from Fluid 3D Workshop. So I kind of get all my my clear bases from. Although they do a whole range of bases. And then yeah, just pulling my chap off. Obviously there's a little bit of glue underneath because I did kind of glue his feet onto those little pegs. So yeah, that bit of sandpaper. So it is just literally hardened glue at the bottom. So it doesn't take much at all to get that off. And then yeah, there we go. There he is. And he stands really well. Obviously he's got some, say, nice size feet. So he stands up perfectly. So this then made me think, well, do I really need to put him on a clear base, because he already stands up on his own? Obviously I could knock him over, but yeah, do I want to sort of ruin it with putting a base underneath? And my thoughts and feelings were, no, I don't think I do really. He stands up on his own. Yeah, let's not put a clear base underneath, because, well, obviously it raises him up, and as much as these are clear bases, they're only 1mm thick, you can see there's a base there. So yep, no base. This guy's going to stay like this, and this is how he looks in all his glory. And I have to say, I'm absolutely in love with this figure. As I say, I've really enjoyed painting him more than any figure in, well, I don't know how long. Yeah, love how he comes out, love how he looks, love the fact that I've got no base underneath, and yeah, as I say, I can't wait to crack on and do the others, because obviously there's 2 other huge ogres in the box set. There's loads of smaller ones, but yeah, the 2 big ones I will be doing next. And yeah, this dude, he is, he's gorgeous. I love him. So it's well worth spending the extra money just because I was impatient and couldn't wait for him to come out in the UK. So yeah, guys, if you are as nuts as me and you want to get them sooner, then yeah, try Amazon.com to get him. So yeah, he's done. So I'm going to be doing these other 2 big ogres next to him. And again, they're nice and big and beefy. And as I mentioned earlier, as much as I do like the look of these chaps, yeah, I am going to have a bit of a play around with them. And hopefully, obviously, not ruin them, because I'm going to be chopping arms off and moving them. Especially the dude there on the right. Yeah, he just looks like he's in a bit of a submissive position. And looks like he's given up. And like he's saying, yeah, okay, stick your big pointy sword in my belly. Yeah, I'm a goner. So I want to make his arms, well, I'm going to make him look more like the box art, where he's definitely more of a defensive, sort of aggressive attacking style. But yeah, say all of these just look absolutely awesome. So guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell. And if you are able to share this video with friends, family, schoolmates, workmates, whatever, that'd be awesome. As yeah, I would love to end this year out on 100k subscribers. I know we have a long way to go to the end of the year, but I've still got a fair way to go to get, well, that magic number. So yeah, guys, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you thought of this video. And again, if you love the longer videos, as I'm going to try and do these, well, every Saturday now. So yeah, you guys all take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.